If I sat you down and put a contract in front of you that said for the next 4 to 5 years, you will be making no money at all, working every day and all night, and any money you would have made is going straight to your boss, as well as he's taking credit for all your accomplishments and your hard work for your company. Now I want to ask you, are you taking this contract? A lot of student athletes are facing this problem every single year, deciding if they want to go play college sports or not. Colleges are raking in vast amounts of money every single year from the athletic department, leaving these students with no money at all. Today, universities are making huge amounts of money by selling games to big name TV providers, as well as selling merchandise all over the world. College athletes should simply be paid for the contribution that they make towards a university as well as their school. First off, the NCAA and colleges are making most of its money off of airing games on certain TV channels. CBS has been in the news in particular because they recently signed a deal with the NCAA allowing them to air March Madness for the next 4 to 5 years. March Madness is a tournament that takes place in the spring that lasts about a month. This contract with CBS and the NCAA is worth $7 billion. And I know you may be thinking, what is CBS and the NCAA really doing here? The answer is nothing. They're simply just airing these games, all while all the hard work is being done by the players for hustling up and down the court and busting their tail ends. And they're receiving no form of payment for this whatsoever. Now, there is also certain TV networks such as Big Ten Network, the ACC Network, and the SEC Network. These channels provide year-round access to the athletic programs, as well as airing games, as well as updates, breaking news, but they also do something where they take a certain particular player that goes to a certain school and have a camera crew follow him around for a little bit to allow the general public to really get an inside view of what that certain player is particularly like when they're not playing football. Now, these student athletes are letting in a camera crew into their daily lives and basically exposing everything they really do, and they're making no money off this at all. This is just another way that the NCAA and these colleges are finding a way to get money off these student athletes. Next, colleges and the NCAA are making most of its money off selling merchandise all around the world. You can go to any college town and find any particular sweatshirt, coffee mug, shoes, socks, anything you could really think of, you can find with that college logo printed on it. Now, companies are going to these universities and offering to pay millions of dollars every single year in order for them to have the rights to be able to put that college logo on a cup or some jewelry. This is another type of way that the NCAA is profiting off these athletes because if the athletes didn't make the universities famous and bring notoriety to the campus, nobody would really want to be buying into this merchandise that is being provided. Now, there is also Nike and Under Armour. These are the two biggest names in sports apparel, and probably the two biggest names in college athletics because for the amount of spirit wear they produce, as well as the amount of game day wear that players and athletes wear every single day. These contracts that Nike and Under Armour are signing are north of $7 million every single year. Nike signs these contracts with these schools and universities in order to print athletic gear for fans, as well as making jerseys, pants, and cleats for these universities. Now, Nike and Under Armour are also finding a way to take advantage of the student athletes as well as the fans. Anytime Nike produces something, they always finish the sweatshirt off by adding a little swoosh onto it to indicate that it's Nike. This is a form of free advertisement that Nike and Under Armour are also doing and taking advantage of the student athletes by anytime they're wearing that type of sweatshirt, it's more people than saying, oh, that's a Nike sweatshirt and Nike sponsors Michigan State. It's just a free level of advertisement that the NCAA and Nike and Under Armour have found a way to make. Now, with the topic of should we pay college athletes happens quite often. And people always turn to saying, oh, well, there is free money that they're getting from going to school. Well, technically that may be right, but in reality, it's really not. These universities are simply not losing any money when they offer a student a full ride at all. They're making that money up by having other students come to the school to get an education. Now, also, a lot of student athletes have also said that there has been a lot of times that they have missed class, quizzes, or tests, or haven't done homework because there simply isn't enough time in the day for sports and school. Over the past couple of years, and during, especially now, we have seen student athletes go from being student athletes to just athletes. A lot of people are just simply now going to these colleges or universities just to play sports. There's a saying that's been around now that is, I go to school to play sports. And that's simply not true. These athletes are hoping to go to these schools and simply just play sports rather than education side of it. The NCAA and colleges have really gotten away from that over the past couple of years and really need to fix that because the main idea of these kids going to school is to get an education, not play sports. It should be education and then school. And most of these programs have gotten away from that over the years. Even though these athletes are getting education for free, that's not enough when these major universities are signing huge contracts and also selling merchandise all over the world. Colleges and universities are collecting vast amounts of money every single year, whether it be printing stuff on a sweatshirt or having access to airing a game on TV. The NCAA and universities are not paying any of their students, and by not paying any of their students, it sounds a little bit like slavery, honestly, where somebody is doing a bunch of work for you and you're not paying them at all, and you're just sort of providing them a place to live. The NCAA needs to fix this soon, or there will be major problems with people wanting to go overseas to play basketball or football, or going professionally and playing in America in the NBA where you can get paid, and go overseas and you can get paid. I hope this presentation has been enough information for you to decide that college athletes should be paid. I, I hope this has been good.